What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. Join me today to talk about the Maryland Terrapins. He is representing the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network, wearing it on his chest with pride, Mr. Jay McLovin. Jay, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, brother. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. What you like about Maryland this year? How are the Terrapins going to stack up against the rest of the teams out there in the Big Ten?
Yeah, well, Tua Tagovailoa's brother is gone, so let's start there. Secondly, they were 8-5 last season, and they won the Music City Bowl, so that's pretty cool. And I predicted them to do 7-5, or excuse me, 8-5, 7-5, or 7-6 to 8-5, somewhere in that neighborhood is what I'm predicting. So I think it's 7-5, somewhere between 5 and 7 wins. I can see that. They got nice skill players on this team, like running backs Roman Hemby and wide receivers Ty Felton and Caden Prather. So that's not a bad way to start. Look at the schedule. They got Oregon, Penn State, should be their likely losses. The 50-50s are Iowa, USC, Indiana, Virginia, Michigan State, and then, of course, the likely wins should be Villanova, UConn, and Rutgers and Northwestern. So I'm thinking probably if you take those ones and then you add in maybe the Indiana, Virginia, Michigan State, that should give you your 7 right there. And then, of course, we'll see if they lose one of those. But I think somewhere between 5 to 7 wins off that schedule. They have the 72nd ranked schedule, so they're pretty far down there in terms of got a fairly easy schedule, honestly, with the exception of the first couple that I mentioned, Oregon, Penn State. I mean, those are the only 2 real hard ones they're going to have. The head coach Mike Locksley ranked 12th in the Big Ten in coaching. His offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis ranked number 14 in the Big Ten, and their defensive coordinator Brian Williams ranked 13 in the Big Ten. So I'm not really exactly liking, honestly, any of them. Now I'm saying Big Ten. I'm thinking like all of college football. No, this is just the Big Ten. So in all actuality, Logan, I can't remember how, when you're ranked like number 12 in the Big Ten, I mean, they're pretty much ranked dead last almost in all their categories. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Logan.
Mm-hmm. No, I see what you mean.
No, you're good. Yeah, their last 3 seasons have been 8-5, 8-5, and then 7-6 respectively. They beat lesser competition, but lost to the good teams. So that's the problem right there. But you can't beat the good teams. I don't know if Maryland's really going to go anywhere. When you look at their quarterbacks, they got new quarterbacks coming in off the transfer portal, and NC State's quarterback MJ Morris and quarterback Billy Edwards. Neither seem poised for big seasons, though, and that's a huge problem. They're a veteran-heavy defense, which is good, but questions on the offense starting and who will start at quarterback remains to be the issue behind how far this team can actually go. And again, this is a team in transition, Logan. That's something I got to constantly remind myself. Offensively, they're 7-0 when they're scoring 31 or more points, and 1-5 when they don't. So they've got to score at least 31 points if they're going to have a chance to win. Why? Because, frankly, I mean, a lot of their competition that they're playing is a lot harder. So, or in some cases, but not this year. I think this year, they may be able to get away with scoring less than 31. Historically, it's taken 31, but they might be able to get away with a little bit less. Billy Edwards should start for this team. He has 7 touchdowns last season. NC State transfer Morris threw for 1,367 yards. He had 14 touchdowns. Last season, he should push Edwards for the starting job. And let's be honest, and I'm sorry, he ran for 7 touchdowns. I didn't mean to say he threw for that. He ran for 7 touchdowns. But he should push Edwards for the starting job. So, and that's a good thing. You're almost going to have that quarterback competition to fill out the best of the both of them. Edwards could also come in on the Wildcat offense. Morris is more, I guess he's more of a transitional quarterback. He has 6.8 yards per average, 14 touchdowns plus 6 interceptions. So he's almost a 50% on the interception platform. Their running back, Roman Hemby, is a clear starter. He's averaging 4.8 yards per carry at 26 career starts. So this guy, he's putting up solid numbers. The O-line, no one on this roster has more than 25 snaps, which is a huge issue versus FBS and FCS schools. So 25 snaps is not a whole lot for
right. Not games, snaps.
Yeah, because I think
that's
if that
important.
at high school, yeah, I mean it's crazy. The defensive line, Phillips and I cannot say this guy's name. I'm gonna spell it for you: AKINGBE Besote, Akin Besote, I guess. Phillips and Akin Besote. I hope I said it.
Just call him Tommy.
Yeah, we're gonna call him Tommy. So Phillips and Tommy at 320 pounds should be enough to stop the run. That should be a stout run defensive line. Maryland is lacking a QB, an O-line, and cornerbacks. They're all questionable. That's not good when when your coverage isn't good on your defense and your O-line and your quarterback aren't good either. I mean, that's kind of already putting you into a hole. They have no depth. This is the key thing. They have no depth behind their starters. So God forbid if somebody gets hurt. They didn't bring enough big enough name guys in the transfer portal either to make up the difference or provide a deep impact. So they obviously didn't take advantage of the transfer portal. They got a 2% chance, Logan, to win the Big Ten. They got the 43rd best strength of schedule. And the strength of this team, Logan, is their defense. They do have a top 20 coverage. So, and I guess what they're saying about quarterbacks are questionable is that maybe due to injuries and things like that. But right now, they do have a top 20 coverage. They picked up, and I hope I can say this guy's name right, Jaden Husky in the transfer portal. So they did pick him up. So the weakness in this team is the quarterback position, which I think is obviously glaring, bringing the fact that they brought in Billy Edwards, or they have Billy Edwards who gave you 7 touchdowns, and then the other guy is like a wildcat. So I think quarterback is going to be the biggest issue for Maryland. I think 5 to 7 on the win total is, and I think 7 to 6 is probably more realistic.
Yeah, I think this team is one of those that is not going to benefit from the two conferences merging in a sense of there's no East and West anymore. It's just the Big Ten. Yeah. And I mean, my God, when you have teams that were already in your division, such as Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, now you're bringing on Iowa, who we talked about, who could be, a really good team also. And I mean, also last season, Northwestern finished 8-5, so they would be right there with them also. But then right behind them, is guys like Wisconsin, in Minnesota as well. So I don't see them moving up this year because you're bringing on even more talent for this team. Like you said, Tua's brother's gone in terms of Talia Tagovailoa. He was there for a while. He was kind of your rock. Now, as you mentioned, what are they going to do? Who are they going to go? Is it going to be Edwards Jr.? Is it going to be MJ Morris? How is that going to shake out or may be seen? But like I said, they've got some guys on their O-line who are going to be helping out with Heron, Bow, and Kaltenberger, who are coming on over. You got guys like Kyle Long as well, who's been there for a minute. You got guys like Connor Fagan, Kevin Kalanji, and Marcus Dumerville. The O-line, they've got some good talent up there. I like that. Mike Loxley said that the running game is going to be more impactful this year. Like you said, Jay, with guys like Nolan Ray and Roman Embry, you can definitely see that. Like so only 3.7 yards per rush last season. Hemby had over 1,000 plus scrimmage yards in 22, but his numbers not so great due to Talia coming in and really just taking a lot of the numbers in terms of rushing away from him. Now he can get back to that. Like he's supposed to do, is Hemby and also Ray behind him. Rest of his team, though, man, wide receiver room, you've got a lot of guys like Felton, Prather, as you mentioned, Smith Jr., Knotts as well. And you've got some good tight ends in Howard and Dylan Wade who are helping, catch passes and be good blockers as tight ends should do. So I like the offense. They've got some good pieces, honestly. I like how their offense is shaping up. Defense, we'll see what happens. Like you said, they've got guys, 6 seniors, 5 returning starters are hanging out over there on that end of the ball. You got guys like Tommy, as we said, and Quayshawn Fuller. So they've got some solid pieces overall. And then, of course, you're bringing over guys like Lionel Whitaker, and also Jalen Husky from Bowling Green to help out with your backfield that was kind of beat up a little bit. You lost 3 defensive players in the backfield who were starters. They're no longer there. So you got to replace that. Hopefully the transfers on both ends of the ball and offense, more so offense than defense, but they still got over a little bit of help on defense and special teams also who can help out and make this team whole. But yeah, man, I think that this team will still be middle of the road. I don't think they're going to light the world on fire. I don't think they're going to be an awful team, one of the worst in the Big Ten. They've got some good talent. The quarterback situation, it's really intriguing. I'm curious to see how that's going to go. I'm excited to see how the running game is going to hopefully get back to how it was in 22. And of course, the really good receivers they got on that team and how they can flourish and get better and go to the next level. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think overall Maryland, pretty much a similar year to last year. Winning record, but I don't think they're going to be competing for a Big Ten title or getting into the CFP top 12 anytime soon. Not this year at least, but I still think they'll have some highlights you can watch each and every day. I think that'll be it for them because they got some good talent, man. They got some good talent. But hey, Jay, I appreciate you, my friend, coming on the show talking about the Maryland Terrapins and their 2024 team preview. I've been your host and producer, Logan Landers. Guys, if you enjoyed the episode, like, follow, share, and subscribe. And until next time, go enjoy your weekends.